killing it. What's everybody? Welcome to the Bride Q. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality.
Or whatever, period.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm your host, Pharaoh. We are joined by our wonderful co-host, Lee. Girl, what a weird way to see someone leave the game.
Very much so. I just have to say,
what was that?
let's bring back non-elimination episodes. We need it. We need it for this new era. This should have been a non-elimination episode. I'm so sad to lose them. I love Team Walla Walla. I live for them so bad. I thought they just brought interesting dynamic to this season, and it's such that they went out, in my opinion, from a production motherfucking era. Let's unpack it real quick.
What production?
Before we even get into it, we're gonna talk about it later in the episode. We're gonna talk about it fucking right now, bitch.
Clark.
So, of course, apparently there's a rule in the Amazing Race. You have to stay with your crew. So basically, there's a situation in this episode where Angie and Danny, they go to a roundabout and they end up veering off to another path, and the crew goes somewhere else. Okay. Now, here's the tea that we learned from watching the exit press with Dangy. That's cute.
That's cute.
Angie. So they were told by production while they're out in the country, if they feel unsafe or if they lose their crew at any point, to just go to the next location. So the next location at this point was the Detour that they successfully made it to second. But when they originally got to the Detour, this is from Angie and Danny's mouth, they were about to start filming with a different crew. That crew told them, okay, look, let's just wait until your crew gets here. You know, it's fine. We were going to film with you, but we'll just wait. They waited 45 minutes to an hour before they said, okay, let's just use the other crew. We're not going to wait for your crew. Go ahead and get started. Which basically caused them to lose this entire thing. They never saw their crew again. So whenever she went this way and they kept going straight, she never saw them again. And I just feel like that is such bullshit. Like, people are trying to blame her driving. But my thing is, girl, if we're racing, I'm not worried about a crew. The crew needs to be worried about us. And then immediately, once they couldn't locate them anymore, the crew should have been at the next location. How the fuck did they not see the new crew? How did they not see their crew anymore at all? Like, at all for the entire race. And then when they get to the race, literally the camera crew they ended up working with, they declined to do it at first, just to work with them later in the same day. So it just felt like they got played by production. They really did. Like, I would be so pissed.
Why is there no rules or organization to what it is? Because, like, at a point they were talking about a penalty, and Angie and Danny in the interview were like, penalty for what? And it's like, literally, because it shouldn't be there. It's so weird because, like, I'm thinking, if it's a rule, I get that it's a rule, but also, why is it a rule? It shouldn't be their responsibility to make sure you get in the film for your show, baby. If you don't have people at every station, then why are you here? But that's the thing, they do. When Danny and Angie arrived, there was another crew waiting in order to actually be able to film them. So it's like, if you have extra filming crew members there and ready, why the fuck is it not just that, oh, okay, their crew's not there, but we have the camera inside the car, and then when they get there, there's going to be another crew waiting. It's like that. It seems like
they literally had a crew there.
Exactly. Y'all have the preparation.
Like, that's messed up.
That is messed up.
It sucks that they got sent home because of this. And, like, they seem to take it very well. They're happy that, you know, this is a very unique way for them to go home. Very, very positive and kind people. Wouldn't be me. Phil will be hearing from my lawyers. CBS will be hearing from my lawyers. Bitch, Jeff and Julie Chen will be hearing from my motherfucker. Okay. I'm suing everybody at CBS. I don't give a damn.
But I don't know.
It's like,
I just feel like
in my opinion, I see this as business production fucking up, and then production telling them, well, I mean,
because production wasn't even sure. Apparently, when they got to the mat, they didn't even tell them immediately they were eliminated. They were deliberating and shit. They were deliberating the whole episode about what they should do about it. And it's like, so you know you fucked up. But my thing is, it's like, if you're a crew of people and this is your job and this is what you're doing, you should have had either in the rule book already somewhere for y'all to know what y'all need to do in this type of situation. This basically tells me they don't know what to do in this situation. And it's like, why the fuck don't you? If you've been doing this show for 36 seasons, is this season 36?
Yeah.
Way too fucking many seasons for you to now know what to do in this situation. This is something that would happen on a show season 10, first 10 seasons, first 7 seasons, and it's like we're 36 seasons in. You didn't have a plan for if the crew lost them. Come on now.
What's unfortunate is that, like, because they didn't have a plan, Danny and Angie suffered, and it's just that's sad. Like, I really feel like it should have been non-elimination or something. And Pharaoh was saying off the podcast that maybe they couldn't because, of course, they couldn't just add a whole other leg. But I don't know. It should have been a double elimination somewhere, maybe an extra person in the finale, and they just get eliminated midway. I don't know. I just feel like there is no way they should have went home because of the crew losing them. I don't give a fuck if she was doing illegal U-turns, was in the right, left lane. It really doesn't matter. I don't think that does not concern them whether the crew can find them or not. So you mean to tell me I'm running a race and I have to worry about the producers making sure they keep up with me? Like, it just sucks that, like, they are literally eliminated by something that's, like, so out of their control. It's kind of like when you see teams, you know, their bus breaks down or their flight gets canceled or their train, you know, stops working. Like, situation like that sucks. But, like, this one is even worse because this is
none of that even happened.
This is the crew people that get paid to follow these people. And my thing is, like I said, they never showed up. They had to work with a new crew for the rest of the race. And it's like, where did they go? To Rihanna house? To the bar? Like, where did they go? Why didn't they go to the next location? Had them waiting for 45 minutes to an hour before they can even get started because their crew didn't show up. But why even have them wait? You hired the crew ready, so why did they decide, oh, let's just wait? And then apparently, because the interview I'm referencing is Mike Bloom's interview. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. But apparently in the interview, they also mentioned that, oh, your penalty is over. You can just go ahead and film with this new crew. It's fine. And she was like, what penalty? We're penalized for something? And it's like, there's no way in hell that they should be penalized for the crew losing them. Because that's what happened. They didn't lose the crew. I hate the verbiage of that in itself is fucked up. They didn't lose the crew. The crew lost them. Their purpose was to run the race. That's what they were doing.
Period. I just feel like even if in your mind you're like, okay, this is their designated crew, we kind of want to give them some time. Why the fuck would you give them 45 minutes? I don't see why would it take 45 minutes to an hour when literally every other team goes to the Detour for you to be like, oh, okay, we'll let them go. It's like, that's some fucking bullshit. Because why wait that long? I feel like if you are waiting for the crew to arrive, if your crew didn't make it to the roadblock that they know exactly where the location should be, where the fuck are they? Where the fuck are they? If they've taken longer than 10 minutes, they should have already let Danny and Angie start. Honestly, period. If they were going to try to wait, it shouldn't have been a 45-minute wait. Period. But really, they shouldn't have waited.
And that's the crazy thing. If the crew, I would assume the crew should have the exact location. If they did not have the exact location, like I said, it's even more on production's fault. I feel like they should have did something. Angie and Danny should not have been eliminated, or they better be getting the call for next season. I don't know.
I know for a fact next season is a returning season because they do it every once in a while. Don't they do it like every couple seasons anyways? Like every couple seasons there's either like, oh, reality stars, or we had the second chances, or we had all stars. So it's like, might as well do it next season because no, you didn't just play in these people's face. And that's just on period. I hate to say it. Like, no way you just played in these people's face. But then again, this was filmed before last season. In my mind, Angie Denny should have been on last season. But maybe you're holding out. Maybe you're holding out and you're going to go ahead and let them on this next season. Or whenever y'all have all-stars, I'm pretty sure Angie Denny will beat them because no, y'all didn't play.
I would love to see their team dynamic on a non-COVID season where they don't have so many limitations and things like that. It just sucks. Like, that's like it just was like, well, y'all got to go. Sorry. We messed up, but y'all got to go.
Yeah, it was very much like, oopsie. Like, not oopsie for $1 million. Bitch, are you crazy?
Literally.
I would have been mad.
The fact that they literally saw the producers like discussing on whether or not they should eliminate them is like crazy. Like, y'all honestly just shouldn't have. Sorry.
Yeah, honestly. But hey, very unfortunate, very stupid. And it kind of makes the episode a little less climactic because it's like they got out for what? For no reason. But anyways, we move. So the teams leave and they groups again. I'm honestly kind of over the group leaving. I don't know. Like, I know they probably do that a lot, but I'm kind of over it. Just let them leave. in certain times. I think in this season it's a little bit annoying because the challenges are very unequal or some of them are just even. So it doesn't even make the groups leaving in different groups as interesting.
This
But
detour was a strong one of just like the
girl,
unevenness of the type of challenge is crazy. Like I
girl.
said, this I feel like there's always like even if it's not supposed to, I feel like there's always a right answer. But this season, for sure, with these detours, there's a right
Yeah.
and wrong answer. It is.
Yeah. Because there's been some where I'm like, okay, it's what and what. Rarely, it's not often, but some on DX and Claire season, some on last season, I was like, oh, okay, really, you just had to be good at something. You wasn't just gonna slide by regardless. You had to be good at something. But this season, baby, you don't have to be good at nothing. You can really get it. It was only the one where the twins went home, where it was either stack everything in that car in a specific order or cook. That's the only one that I'm like, I guess you had to know one. That's why it was so difficult for a lot of teams that time. But other than that, baby, just pick the right one and move forward. Very much so, which is boring as well. But hey, we started off. Group one was Angie and Danny, and then they left in group one. Like Lord, but it was Angie, Danny, and Ricky and Cesar. And Angie and Danny were basically following Ricky and Cesar at the beginning. And when they started off, they're in these cars with no lid on it, lidless cars. And it starts to rain. It literally starts raining on them. And at first it was like sprinkling, and then it literally just is raining down.
Pouring. And then later that's how it goes straight away.
Salary just rain. It's because they in Barbados. You know, in them islands, wilding on a boat on an island, it gets real rainy. It's humid sometimes. The rain can go and leave. The sun could come out. It could be beautiful and
but
gray.
You know what? Too? Also, I will say I was definitely more tuned in this episode, and I think it's because it is like a slight scenery change, like Barbados.
Yes,
like
it
the
is.
Culture and the background is different, and I saw different locals helping them. It was really fun.
Yep, I agree. I liked this leg. I actually did like this leg. It just was the results was annoying. Even the fact that it was raining was interesting. Like, I don't know. I like this leg. I liked a lot about it. But just the results. So it starts raining on them. And so they all both have to stop and literally physically put the thing up. One thing about me, I don't necessarily like getting rained on. Why the fuck is it raining on me? I would hate that would be my most annoying thing on these shows. Because sometimes on the challenge, everywhere. Yes, on the challenge, sometimes it's raining or they got to go in the snow. Ugh. Or sometimes in Big Brother, you're getting water pouring. It don't even be raining. It just be water. Why is water on me? Like, oh my God. Like, I hate being wet and cold and sticky. And
you don't want rain on me.
I don't want trouble. But okay, boom. Group 2 leaves, and by the time Group 2 leaves, it's literally pouring rain. So I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna immediately put their shade on, but they do not.
No, they hop right into the wet ass car and start driving like it's not raining, and then both their maps get ruined because of that. Yeah. Because of course it's water on paper. You know, like I was so curious as to why they did not immediately put that up. I guess they're just so in the goal of like it's a race. You want to be first. But I would have got that thing up on there first.
Group 3 was Melissa and Yvonne and Juan and Shannon. Honestly, y'all, I was like Melissa and Yvonne are finna lose, but they did not. So that's good for them. I really was like, I don't think they're gonna make it through. They're in Group 3. These are some heavy hitter teams for the most part. I felt like they was going to get some heavy hitters, but even if Angie and Danny didn't go, Melissa and Yvonne wouldn't have went either. So it's like, ooh, they got them.
Bad leg for Letitia and Rod. I hope they can get it together because if they go next, it's like, oh, like I wanted to switch up, but damn, not this switch up.
Wait, they switched up too late. The issue is they switched up too late. I stopped the count. But shout out to Melissa and Yvonne being a girl team. They made Final 5.
No, they ate that because they literally was going back to back. Like,
yep, I did not expect that, but they ate that up. Good for them. Good on them. So, boom, we hit the roadblock. The road, Jack. The roadblock is who wants to get into the swing of things.
Okay,
I like swinging things. You gotta score 11 points on this table tennis, but it's on the floor. It's like ground tennis. We agreed, Lee. You got it.
We gotta agree with that. You said you were gonna be Tashi Duncan. I'm not Tashi Duncan.
Shut up, Tashi. No, I'm Patrick.
No. hold on. Actually, shout out. Quick product placement. If you have not seen Challengers, go watch Challengers, okay? And stay in Zendaya while you're at it, please. That's
Clock that T. Bitch
catch
catch.
it.
Huh.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm just not coordinated. I'm not a coordinated person, so I wouldn't have trusted me to be able to get it as quickly,
Yeah, I was thinking
Pharaoh did sports.
in these barely. In these more recent ones, for me, at least in my mind, it's giving depending on our placement. If we are literally in first, then I think this is something that I would trust Lee to do. And if Lee was like, I don't know, I would be like, Lee, do it now. We're in first right now, because if next round we're in last, then I'm gonna need to do it. And I don't want it to be like, oh, you used up your six, da da da. So if we were in first or second place, I would try to encourage Lee to do this. And then same with the detour later on when we're deciding, it would definitely be dependent on our placement for real. So that made me realize like it's a lot of stuff you got to think about when you're choosing this shit. Because some people, they just get to the roadblock, just choose who's best and move along. And it's like all the time that's not necessarily good. Because if we're the first people to the roadblock, why not just have you do it? Now, for the last people, then I see it's like, okay, maybe I can get the 11 points quicker since I done stuff like this before. But I don't know. It really depends. I don't think we're not like uneven on the stuff, so it wouldn't have mattered. So either of us could have did this. I think both of us would have been fine. We probably would have finished.
I think this leg, the challenges themselves were not hard. It's just the navigation. And the way they were struggling with navigation, especially driving that rain, girl, that rain driving looks crazy. Now, to be fair, they say Texas got some of the worst drivers. And we learned how to drive in Texas, so I feel like, okay, maybe our driving skills may be a little bit ahead, but like I know I'd be terrified driving in rain. Like when it's splashing all over the highway, bitch. And over here, they be having about 9 lanes on one highway. So when that happened, it gets really scary. So I don't know how that would have affected me because we saw how it affected Letitia and Rod this episode. Yeah, and like that's another thing that pisses me off. With like Angie and Danny were not even like sucking with that. They literally got to this detour second. Like they do not deserve this right now.
This is fucked up. It really is. So at the detour, Ricky and Caesar get there first. I mean, at the roadblock, Ricky and Caesar get there first. Ricky decides to do the little fucking ping pong tennis shit, and he gets his 11 points before the next team even pulls up. As they leave, Danny and Angie, who are keeping up, they pull up next. The fuck. And they pull up next. So Danny and Angie start doing their thing, and we see that Ricky and Caesar need to try to Rihanna's childhood home.
Come on. Shout out to Rihanna.
Tell me how you do. That's come run. Everybody run.
I would have been singing Rihanna songs this whole leg. They would have been mad.
They would have been mad at us.
I'd be like, mama.
Just shut up, man. Now we would have been getting the seaweed. In Central Station.
Just singing. Shine bright like a diamond.
Wag, 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 wag. You see Liana, wag, 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 wag. You see we got her.
They would be mad with us, bitch.
So we do that.
Mind you, it's Rihanna house on Rihanna Drive, bitch. Come on. I need my hometown to go off of me like that, bitch. Where's Lee Avenue?
You gotta be multi-millionaire.
Mother, billionaire. Right?
Billions.
Big B. And the B stands for fans.
So, they're driving to Rihanna's house. And then we see literally. That's so crazy. Like, what?
It is Rihanna, ain't it?
It's Rihanna.
Why is it not Rihanna?
That's what she be saying on the radio. What's up, y'all? It's Rihanna.
That's what she said on the radio for real. Yeah.
But it gives Rihanna. I feel like Anna, you can't get mad about that.
Yeah, I don't think she do.
It's Rihanna.
Now, Beyonce, that's not anything.
Beyonce ain't it?
If you
what
say
about
Beyonce, Zendaya.
I hear Zendaya. I feel like I hear Zendaya often, and it's like, why?
I hear that a lot, and I'm like, how do you see that word? Same with Beyonce. How do you see Beyonce and think Beyonce?
Because they think because ain't her nickname. Her nickname's not Bay.
Queen Bay, like Queen. No, it's Queen B.
It's just B. They just think it's Bay.
Some people say Queen Bay.
Maybe they read it as Bay, and so
I've heard people refer to her as Queen Bay, and I'm like,
It's reading comprehension is what it is, or maybe like, anyways, Rihanna's house. Angie has played tennis. Angie is Angie Duncan. Tashi Duncan, Angie Duncan. She definitely channels Zendaya here. So, so Angie is killing it. It's easy for her. She gets it done.
She was eating it. Like, no, y'all see her serve. Like, she was ready to go. It was nothing for Angie out there.
It was literally nothing, which is funny. But anyways. She gets done, and then Yvonne and Melissa pop up here third. And I'm like, damn, how the fuck they were controlling it.
There's some sleeper hits.
They were controlling it for sure. And this was a weird choice because basically Yvonne went and did it. And Melissa had a diary. She was like, well, I did play tennis, and I'm the tennis player, and Yvonne hates tennis. She's not good at it. But Yvonne's going to go ahead and do this. And I'm like, why the fuck is that? So I went to their wiki to see who like done what roadblocks, and it's like they've done the same amount. So I don't see why. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure. Maybe there was more to it and they just didn't show us, but I was very confused at the decision. I don't know why people be making decisions like that. But hey, Rod and Letitia show up and they start doing it as well. And then we flash to Amber and Vinny because why are they not here? They left in group 2. We don't know where they at. They're soaking wet, everything wet. They lost, map not on. Her and Vinny trying not to argue. They're trying very hard not to argue. They're doing good this way. They didn't argue that much this late. They did better, but still. So at this point, everyone has shown up, and Amber and Vinny are the last ones to show up and the last ones to finish the roadblock. So at this point, I'm like, oh, it's their time.
It may be over.
It's their time. They've been struggling for a while. Melissa and Yvonne doing better. It might be their time. Because Amber and Vinny, we've been saying it, they could go at any leg. And it's no shade. I feel like one slip up with them, and it's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's over. They are good at the challenges, though. They kill them challenges, especially if Vinny do a roadblock, he gonna get it done. Period. Or even the detour, they got it done fast. It's like, ooh, they be getting shit done. I'll give them that. But hey, boom. Then we see them driving. Ricky and Cesar, they have a little tuffle, and it's like I feel like they're only showing us Ricky and Cesar's tuffles because they know we bored of them winning. Because they claiming they're struggling with the drive, and it's like y'all paid them.
Girl, Ricky struggling is not the same as everyone else struggling.
It actually means nothing. They might as well not show that scene because nothing changed. Period.
Nothing for the shift.
This is when we get Angie and Danny on their way to the detour, and they're driving at the roundabout, and they lose their crew. Now, initially, they walkie-talkie, nothing happened, and I was like, why aren't they stopping? Stop immediately. But as Lee said, they were told if you ever lose them, just go to your detour. And we already talked about it.
I think that makes the most sense. At the end of the day, you're the racer. I don't think it's fair to put the responsibility of them watching out for their crew. Literally, while they're driving, they're like, is the crew behind us? Is the crew behind us? Mm-hmm. I feel like they shouldn't be on their worry at all. Like, y'all don't got, we're in 2024. Y'all ain't got drones flying above them. Okay. Like, y'all don't got people in different areas. I just feel like the place should have been scoped out better.
Sometimes the crew is in the car with them. I feel like the crew should have been in the car. Or if it wasn't in the car, you have a camera in the car. When they get to the detour, they get to the detour. That's just that on that. Sorry. Like, it's basically, oh, we can't get our footages in the correct way because y'all lost the thing. Who gives a fuck about your footages? Bitch, I'm here to win a race. Yeah. When I saw my agreement, it said win the race. So that's what the fuck I'm doing. It didn't say nothing about make sure that my job over here is to help you. Like, what the fuck? Are we workers?
Do you think this is a Barbados included? Because I will say, usually we do have the driver in the car. Yeah. And I guess because how these cars are made, or maybe because it was raining, they were not for some reason in the car this time. So I'm wondering, was this a specific rule for this race, or is there a general Amazing Race rule? But I guess it can't be specifically for this country because they were also told to go to the next location. So I don't think they would have been told that if this was a rule for this location. So I thought we really have never seen this type of thing enforced before. But I will say I usually always see a camera person in the car with them.
Yeah, exactly. So that's unfortunate, but they still end up getting to the detour second. And like we said, I just feel like they should have just been able to take the crew that was waiting there ready and just move forward. And that's
what, like, this could not have been me and Pharaoh, y'all.
No, honestly, we wouldn't have sat, like, not that they sat quietly, but we wouldn't have sat in that car.
No, we would not have sat quietly. We would have been out of the car, ready to get started.
I would have been at the detour. I would have just went to the detour. Y'all not gonna play with us.
They're right here. They can't just start filming us. They can't just. I'm going to the producers myself. They can't just film us. They're right here. Okay, well, we're finna just start. No, we're finna just start. Y'all have to wait. Why? They're not here. Like, it would have been
a problem. But they lost us, though.
I'm telling you, and I love Angie and Danny. I really do. But they're not me. They are not me. It would have needed to be an issue. They would have caught this on camera. Mm-hmm. Something like, I just feel like.
Oh, I would have easily been like, how long do we have to wait here before we can go? Because if we have to wait, you need to let us know how long we're waiting for.
That was crazy. The way Angie and Danny in the Mike Bloom interview were talking, it's as if they randomly decided, oh, y'all can just do it now. It's fine. They're not coming, so just do it. So they just waited. They were waiting for basically nothing because the crew wasn't showing up. The fact that the crew that ended up filming them were ready to film them when they first got there, it pisses me off that. And like I'm not even still mad at them for not speaking up. They shouldn't have to speak up. Production should be ready, but I would have spoke up.
But you know what's crazy? It's almost as if they would have applied pressure, they probably would have gave in because they were ready to film them when they got there. And then they ended up filming them anyway. So it's like, honestly, in a situation, if it was us, because you're right, when I get angry, because I don't get angry often, I'm very patient. But when I get upset, you're gonna hear me for the rest of the day. You're gonna hear me for the rest of the day. So honestly, I don't think we would have just been able to we would have applied pressure, and I feel like they would have had to fold. And it's like, that's unfair because if it was a different team or just if they did apply energy, it's like y'all would have changed your decision, which is why your decision needed to be set in stone. It needed to be in the rule book. What do you do in this moment? Because the fact that it's not, it just looks like bullshit. It really just looks like bullshit. It sounds like bullshit when you hear it
all over the place. And I feel like I think Angie Day, they're clearly like fans of the situation. They're happy for the opportunity, so they don't want to go off and be disrespectful, it seems. Probably also to get that second opportunity that they definitely deserve. But me, that would have went out the motherfucking window. I would not have been able to do it, especially if they. Let's say we were applying pressure and they still told us to wait, and then they came back and said, "Well, we're just gonna film with the same crew."
Mm-hmm. We're not getting eliminated. Y'all gonna be at the mat deliberating, and I'm gonna be right there on the mat deliberating. I'll be like, so what it sounds like is we can't be eliminated, like, because y'all didn't have it in the rule book that we needed to do this, and this. Y'all had us wait, and then we ended up doing it with the crew that was already there. Therefore, we shouldn't be eliminated for a mistake that you did. And as a matter of fact, show me the rules where it says that we needed to do whatever you needed to do. Because if that's the case, then I get
right. Where's the rule that we have to wait 45 minutes to an hour for them to not show up?
Period. I need to know that. Because from my understanding, you told us we need to go straight to the detour once we're done. That's what we did. Because if you would have told us to find our crew, we could have found them and maybe we could have actually won. You told us to go to the detour. You told us to go to the detour. And
like,
wait.
Production really played in their face. Like, or I'm like, I got two options. We're gonna continue racing,
or you gonna give me that money.
Or you gonna give me a piece of that $1 million.
You're gonna give me that money. And that's the two options.
I need to leave with $100,000 each. Ain't no splits each.
Period. At least. Because it's really bullshit because they told them to go to the detour. In actuality, like when we said they could have stopped, imagine if they didn't tell, y'all set them up because if y'all didn't tell them to go to the detour and they just stopped and they were like, oh shit, they went left, let's go find them. They probably could have found their team and then went to the detour and maybe actually won. But it's like, you told them not to find their team. Literally. You told them don't stop. You told them to go to the detour.
Which makes sense. Why would they stop?
Which makes sense. It does make sense, but it's like, if that's what you told them to do, why was there no what next? Why was there nothing planned for what's next?
And then the show played in their face because they also revealed in the interview that, and I guess I didn't catch this, but they said in the episode, "Oh, our crew finally caught us," so they made them film fake shit and everything. It wasn't their crew; it was a whole new crew.
Girl, that's when they were released to go to the detour, and that's what it said. It's like, girl, get out my fucking face. So. Talking about the detour, this is an interesting one again. These last couple of detours, it's been me and Lee kind of immediately thinking of the opposite one a little bit because this one you either gotta do the fish pot building, you gotta build a fish pot. It's like a grate where you catch fish in, or you have to do a seaweed clearing, which is filling this big blue bucket with seaweed that's laid all over the beach. My immediate thing was, I'm gonna do that seaweed. All I gotta do is run, fill it up, put it in a bucket. Boom.
And I will say, I was initially like, seaweed is going to be too grueling because I'm thinking about we're in the hot Barbados sun.
Yeah,
on the
that is true.
beach, running down. It looked like a fit football field length.
It did look like a long
Back
time.
and forth. And I thought we had to fill 5 things. Because I'm
But we
also
only
going
got
based
the
on
one.
what I'm seeing on the TV, which isn't 100%, race oriented, but still.
Yeah.
I thought it was the 5 of them. So I'm thinking, girl, we can't do that. But
Now
then
that
I
is
saw the
probably
fish
crazy.
trapper, and I was like, this does seem pretty tedious too. So
Yeah, I immediately felt like building this fish trap out of sticks and wire and barbed wire. That's gonna be too much of my. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I didn't feel like using my brain. I don't feel like I would have felt like using my brain.
Yeah.
And just getting the seaweed, it's like I don't have to. And I felt like that would have just been way more efficient. And I was like, if I have to pick up the slack on that, I can. And I like that. I like that one of us can have a little bit of control over the leverage of it. So I'm like, if I need to just carry the seaweed and run, then I need to do that. So I feel like what I ended up saying, because if Lee would have pushed back, I would have been like, okay, look, if we're here early, we can do the fish pot. But if we were there late, if it was just us coming around the time Angie and Danny came, I would have been like, no, we can do this seaweed faster than Angie and Danny can get that shit together. So we need to go ahead and do the seaweed. And I feel like that's what I would have put my foot down on, is if we're in the back of the pack, we're doing the seaweed. Now, if
it worked for Juan and Shane. They were damn near last.
They were last. They were the last
one and got second this round because that seaweed, like, and I feel like all of the teams kind of were thinking the same thing I was thinking. Well, the seaweed's gonna be too grueling. This trapper, it's tedious, but it's something that's we're not gonna be out here almost passed out. It's not gonna take all day. But the difference in those 2 detours was absolutely crazy. There's no reason why Juan and Shane should have been able to jump them so quickly. And I get it. It's
now they are Marines.
Yeah, some detours are different, so I get it. But it's just like moments like this, I'm just like, ooh, like this was so uneven. Like this was so uneven in my opinion.
Yeah. So literally every team had made it, and every team ended up deciding to do the great. And then Juan and Shane got their last. And it's like they did seem winded and tired. They are Marines, so they probably were a little more physical. So it ended up only taking them 2 rounds. It was 2 rounds, and they had 90% of the bucket field. So they just had to get a little bit more for the 3rd round. So it's like they only went back and forth 3 times. Whether it's a football,
but now I'm thinking it should have been 5 buckets or at least 2. You mean 3 trips back and forth? Like relatively, that could not have been that bad.
Yeah, it still probably would have took us 3 trips. It's just our trips probably would have been a little bit longer. But it's like we probably still would have gotten, if we were Juan and Shane, and we not being Marines, not being athletic like them, we probably still would have jumped every team as well. And it's like Angie and Danny probably could have jumped all the teams as well. Yeah, even though they're tired. And it's like that's fucked up.
I was thinking that. I was like, honestly, low-key, Angie and Danny maybe should have switched, because you said immediately, why did Angie and Danny pick the fish traps? Because you're already so late in the pack. Yeah. You're automatically going to finish after all of these people. So once you see the last place team, Juan and Shane, skip all of y'all by going to the other one. Maybe they should have thought about switching. I don't know if Angie would have been able to keep up. So maybe that was definitely making of it all. So I don't know, but like it just sucks because it's like after Juan and Shane flip, if you're in the back, it's like there's no way you're gonna finish the team in front of you. And that basically what happened with Angie and Danny. They were already so behind, which is bullshit because they came to the fucking place second. It would have already been going like Cesar and Ricky were. But
it's just the issue with this detour is the fish pot one was clearly one that was going to take a certain amount of time no matter what. You can't go faster with building a thing you've never built before. It's really going to take every team a chunk of a certain amount of time. So if you're in the back and you need to pass a team, you have to do the other detour. You really just do. You have to do the other detour. You have to do the detour where it's like it's at your own pace. Shane and Juan could finish that in 10 seconds, or it could have been an hour. Who knows? But you have control of your time. With the fish pot, no one was going to finish that until you finished it. You know what I'm saying? It was going to take a certain amount of time regardless. So I just feel like that was the issue. It's kind of like you kind of have to use your brain. But also, they were just stressed about where's their crew and da-da-da-da. They were in 5th place. They went to 2nd to 5th. It's really not their fault because if they were in 2nd place, they could have just did what they wanted to do and moved the fuck along.
Yeah.
And that's the fucked up part about it.
Like production failed them. Like, oh my God.
They really did. They really, really did. But of course, we end up the leg with Ricky and Cesar getting first. This is their 5th time getting first place this season.
And for the record, 9. Are they going to get that 9?
They can't get the record because there's not 4 more legs left. It would need to be 4 more legs. But there's only,
I thought they still had enough time.
I think there's only 3 more legs, so they can only get 8 at most. So I don't think they can beat it or even tie it. But they still ate that up, honestly. 5 legs.
Oh, it's 8. It's 8.
Okay, so they could get it. If they win every single leg after this, they could tie the record. Because next leg, it'll be top 4, and the next leg will be top 3, and then that's the winner leg. So they could tie it. They could tie the record. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting and boring for me. But good on them. They're doing great.
I feel like definitely it's gonna be one day as a team that come out here and just win. That would be fucking crazy. It's almost like Ricky.
Honestly, because they've only ever gotten first or second. They haven't gotten lower than second place the entire season. And
it would be insane at this point if Cesar and Ricky don't win because of how powerful they've been. Like, you win first or second every single time except when it matters. Like, ooh.
That would suck.
At this point, I do feel like the front runners are Cesar, Ricky, and Juan and Shane, only because Amber and Vinny have had their mistakes. So has Giovanna and Melissa, and Letitia and Roderick. They've never been like they were at the top of the pack towards the very beginning, but after then they've kind of been in and out of that top place bubble. So I could see them going home next, depending on how these challenges go.
But the only teams who've won legs are Cesar and Ricky, Juan and Shane, and Letitia and Rod all season. So that should probably just be the final 3. Like, I feel like that would be the most interesting for me because I feel like the other 2 teams aren't just haven't been as competitive because they haven't won a leg yet. So for me, I'm just like, okay, these are the 3 teams who've won a leg. These are the 3 teams who've proven they can win a leg. So it's like when you get to the final leg, it's like, ooh, these 3 teams have all won a leg before. They all, in a sense, can have a chance to come out on top. So I think that'll be interesting, but we'll see. You never really know.
It's only 3 more episodes, though, so we'll see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. And I don't think that's another reason why they definitely didn't allow Angie and Danny to stay, even though it was very fucked up on production's end, because they don't have the time. Like, now he is right around the corner.
Yep, exactly. But that's that on that, y'all. We'll be back next week to cover the next episode of The Amazing Race. We're coming to an end with Big Brother Canada, so definitely check out our coverage on that. Mm-hmm. And Survivor is coming. Everything's going to start coming to the end, but there's 4 episodes. But let's get into Survivor with us every Wednesday and the challenge, All Stars 4, period. And thank you for keeping it real with the Kingdom, bitch.
We're out.